This is breaking. The Mets just robbed the Cardinals. David Stearns is at it again. It has been a rather busy Wednesday for the Mets president of baseball operations as another huge move has been made, and I can't wait to dig into it. I am Adam Choit, your host for today here on Mets Digest, and before we dig in on all that, I just want to give you guys a quick reminder, a quick heads up to please subscribe, because as you can see, nearly 68% of you guys watching these videos are not subscribed, so please do so. It just takes a quick second, and it is appreciated for sure. Let's get into it. The Mets just got swept by the Padres, unfortunately. That is the sad news. But the better news, the happy news, the good news, is that they acquired a couple of very talented relief pitchers today. And I wanted to dig into the second move that they made today, which is acquiring the Cardinals closer, Ryan Helsley. And let's dig in on the trade here. This is Jeff Passan and John Heyman racing to break the news. The Mets are finalizing the deal, of course, to acquire Ryan Helsley. This was earlier today. And it is in exchange for three minor leaguers, Jesus Baez, Nate Dome, and Frank Elizold. Baez is a position player, and Dome and Elizold are pitchers. And judging by the Cardinals fan reaction to the trade, they are not very happy about this trade at all. They are very disappointed, borderline outraged just by perusing Cardinals Twitter. They just believe that they should have got more based on the deals that are going on in baseball today for relievers, including the Rogers deal to the Mets. They believe that the Cardinals fans are suggesting that if they wanted to trade Helsley, it should have been done a year and a half ago, where they could have gotten more. So the Cardinals fans are not very happy with the deal. And although both pitchers the Mets acquired today, Helsley and Rogers will be free agents at the end of the year, who's to say that the Mets won't be able to re-sign both of these gentlemen who are on the wrong side of 30, so to speak, to somewhat team-friendly deals, not deals that may not be too lengthy, 2, 3, 4 years, that deals that don't go too far into their late 30s. And we've seen in the last few years, it's a different team post Wilpon with Steve Cohen, of course, at the helm. It's a destination. The Mets have become a destination for free agents. The atmosphere at Citi Field, of course, with you guys, the fans, and us, is just as excellent. It's a great atmosphere. It's a family atmosphere. We've all heard about that, and it's been talked about. So we'll see if Rogers and Helsley are won over by the Mets fans and the organization, and will stay, for at least somewhat of a long-term commitment moving forward. But before we get into all of that, let's dig in on the story itself here. Here's some info about Ryan Helsley, of course. This is from Philip Martinez of SNY. Ryan Helsley entered Wednesday's games with a 3 ERA and 21 saves. The two-time All-Star had a career season a year ago, closing an MLB at best 49 games while pitching to a 2.04 ERA and a 1.101 WHIP. With the additions of Rogers and Helsley, the Mets have strengthened their bullpen after season-ending injuries to multiple arms. With Edwin Diaz handling the closer role, manager Carlos Mendoza has his choice of bridge in the later innings. After today's trades, the Mets bullpen will likely include Diaz, Rogers, Helsley, Gregory Soto, Reed Garrett, Brooks Raley, and Ryan Stanek. The 31-year-old Helsley is in the final year of his contract and will be an unrestricted free agent. It is the second rental reliever the Mets have pulled off before the trade deadline on Thursday. Continuing on, the 31-year-old Helsley is in the final year of his contract and will be an unrestricted free agent. Like I mentioned, it's the second reliever rental pulled off for the deadline. Let's talk about Baez. Baez spent most of the season at high A, slashing .244, .334, .406 with a 740 OPS to go along with 10 home runs and 42 RBI across 69 games with the Brooklyn Cyclones. Dome, a third-round pick in the 2024 draft, pitched 18 games, 17 starts with high A, where he pitched to a 2.62 ERA and a 1.19 WHIP. Elizold was a late-round pick in last year's draft and made 20 appearances, 7 starts across low A and high A, and pitched to a 3.04 ERA. He struck out 65 batters in 56 innings. So these minor leaguers do have some decent numbers, not as much hitting-wise for the 20-year-old Baez, who has a 733 OPS in his so far minor league career, just in A-ball, essentially. But it's you have to give up something. The Mets had to give up something. So these minor leagues do have some decent numbers, but they were not the highest ranked by a long shot prospects in the Mets organization, as you can see by the disappointment, as we've seen by the disappointment from the reaction from Cardinals fans. Baseball MLB has Baez as the 8th ranked prospect in the organization, and Dome as the 14th, and Ellisalt is not even on the list at all. Just the reaction from Mets Twitter has been quite different to the Helsley move compared to the Rogers move. Whereas with Rogers, the Mets gave up Buto, a very serviceable pitcher who's been a quality pitcher, a versatile pitcher for the Mets, as well as Tidwell is a pretty good prospect too, who's had major league experience despite not having much success at all in the major leagues, and as well as Carson Bench, who is a prospect, a name that plenty of Mets fans probably know as well. Let's continue on with the story here. Despite drops in strikeout rate and whiff rate from his electric 2024 season, Helsley still owns a fastball that sits in baseball's 99th percentile in velocity, 99.3 on average, and a slider that has become a wipeout pitch. He has a plus 10 run value on that slider, which is tied for the 6th highest run value on a single pitch among all relievers. That's John Denton from MLB.com. What makes, and this is a little bit more about the contract, what makes Helsley's acquisition tricky is that he's hoping to command a contract this offseason similar to the one signed by all-star closers Edwin Diaz, 5 years for $102 million, and Josh Hader, 5 years for $95 million. Before the 2025 season, Helsley changed his representation from the Ballingy Group to Wasserman, a sign that he could be pursuing a 9-figure deal for at least 4 years. We'll see how the offseason shakes out for the Mets and for Helsley, but before then, the Mets have plenty of unfinished business this season and are definitely looking towards the postseason with Helsley on the roster, hoping that he can help get them to the World Series and get them a victory in the World Series. Let's take a look at some more of the reactions from all around baseball. This is well. Before we get into that, we can take a look closer at some of the statistics from these players involved. That's Ryan Helsley's statistics. Pretty damn strong numbers over the years. 1.13 career WHIP, 2.67 ERA. And for what it's worth, I know, of course, wins are not the most notable statistic in which to measure a pitcher's success by, but he does have a 31-15 record with a 674 winning percentage. So he's a winner, and that's very good to see as well. The 355 strikeouts and 299 and 2/3 innings, and significantly less hits than innings pitched, of course, as well, just 218 and 299. So he's certainly been a super consistent pitcher over the years. This right here is these are Nate Dome's stats in his minor league career. As you can see, the 2.87 ERA and the less hits per innings pitched and 77 strikeouts and 62 and 2/3 innings, which is pretty good. So just to give you a little bit of background on him. And these right here are, this is the other pitchers' statistics in the trade. This is Nate Ellisalt's statistics right here. As you can see, he has a 3.02 career ERA. Also less hits than innings pitched, more strikeouts than innings pitched, and a pretty damn good WHIP at 0.98. So pretty good numbers from Ellisalt, despite being not a top prospect in baseball or in the Mets organization. And what do we got here? This is actually right here. This is Jesus Bias's numbers. I didn't want to overlook that. As you can see, that 733 OPS that I was referring to. Not the most eye-popping, but again, this guy's only 20 years old. Again, these guys are young, and the Mets are in a position where they want to win now. They are trying to win now. The Mets are in total win now mode, and I think that's the big theme of this day. Not that we didn't expect that to be the case, but just to see it play out as Stearns is dealing 20-year-olds and 22-year-olds, young minor leaguers, for rentals that are intended to help the Mets win and win now. Here's a little bit more about Helsley from James Shiano. Ryan Helsley is an incredible get for the Met. 100-mile-an-hour heat, nasty slider, 2.03 RA, 103 WHIP since 2021. One of the best relievers in Major League Baseball. Traded 3 past prospects of value for him, all with some fun traits and potential, but they have flaws. But a total slam dunk win now move. And this I caught as well on Twitter X from Jolly_Olive. I thought this was an excellent stat here. Ryan Helsley and Tyler Rogers against the Cubs, Dodgers, Phillies, and Padres this year. 19 1/3 innings, 1 earned run, 1 walk, and 16 Ks. So that's definitely what you want to see, guys who can be at their best against the best when it matters the most. Here's a look at a little bit of a summary in terms of what David Stearns has accomplished and who he's acquired in the last 6 days. Gregory Soto, of course, the lefty reliever, Tyler Rogers, and Ryan Helsley. The bullpen transformation is complete. This has the potential to be the best bullpen in baseball, says Robert Render. And just one more note from Anthony DeComo here. I'm told the Mets intend to remain active even after acquiring Ryan Helsley and Tyler Rogers for the bullpen. They're still pushing for a bat. That's what I've been hearing too from fans, is that the Mets need to get a bat, especially after this lackluster, disappointing sweep at the hands of the Padres this past few days, where they did not do much of anything right, including hitting. But what do you guys think? What do you think of this trade? What do you think of both trades? What bats are out there for the Mets? What should they do next? Did they give up too much in these deals? Any of these prospects that the Mets gave up, do you think they're going to be regrets? But let me know below in the comments. Like, share, and let's go Mets.